guys. Hello everyone. Today we're going to draw a beautiful reindeer using just a pencil. Reindeers are gentle animals that live in the cold, snowy places most like Arctic regions. They are also known as caribou in North America. Let's start our drawing. So let's start with a circle or an oval, and then let's do an L shape there. And then now we curve it and then make a neck. And then we outline it. After we outline it, we're going to curve that L into like a curve. Now, same thing, we outline. And then now, we gotta draw a diagonal line beside. We gotta draw a diagonal line at the end of the curve. Now we got to outline, make some details. Now we gotta make a curve at the top with a curve to join that diagonal line. Now we make another diagonal line onto the right, and then we connect it to the curve. Now let's move on for the leg. Now we do a diagonal line above the body, on the body. And then now we just draw another line. Now bring that down. And then there you go. We have our leg, our first leg. Our second leg is gonna be our second leg. Now we make a diagonal line about the foot and a curve on the right side of the L. Now we make a line about the body, and then now we do the same thing, make a gap. Then now we make a curve at there, and now it looks like the reindeer is sitting. So now we can erase our guideline. We curve it onto there, onto our guideline over there, and then we outline it, our body, and then now we make a curve over there. Now we make a diagonal line on that foot, and now we move on to the head. Now, on top, we draw a line at the right side of the guideline. And then now we make a curve for the nose. Now we make a little bump for the nose and a smile for its mouth. Now we curve it in, and then we do a smile after. So now let's put that back, and then now let's focus on the reindeer's ears. So now we draw one ear on the left side, if you can see, one ear on the left side, and 1 ear on the right side. Make sure the right ear is on the bit of the bottom. Let's also make the eyes. So just do a small tiny oval and then do a tiny curve below it. Now let's start the reindeer's antlers. So now we draw them really, really thin. If you can see, I'm doing them. So do them like curvy, pointy, and long. And also, at the same time, when you're done your reindeer antlers, you can erase your guidelines. Now we're done. If you can see, I'm erasing my guidelines. I'm almost done. If you erase some of the body, you could retrace it. It's okay. If you can see, and right now I'm outlining a bit. If you can see, I'm done now. So let's move on. So now let's draw the reindeer's eyes. So add a little circle on the reindeer's eyes, and then color the rest and leave the circle white. Now draw a line above it, 2 lines above the reindeer's eyes. Now let's get started at the nose. Draw a bit like a circle or like a triangle. And then now let's draw a little dot for its nozzle. Now let's do a bit of shading. You do very light shade, as light as you can. And then now, let's move on to the body for next. Now let's also, before we go to our body, let's also shade our ears. Okay, let's also, I missed this part. So let's also color the reindeer's antlers. You could do it anyway. You could do it like a medium shade or a light shade. But just don't do it really, really dark, okay? I'm doing a light shade. Okay, now let's move on to the body. On the right side, let's do a dark shade. And then move on the right side with a light shade. Okay, now let's move on to the medium shade. After we've done our dark shade. Now we're doing our medium shade and our light shade. Now we're done our neck. Now let's move on to the body. Before we start moving on to the body, we gotta draw the circles. So I'm gonna shade a bit over and on the reindeer's neck. Now let's start the circles. Draw big, small, and medium circle. But don't draw small circles yet. Let's do it at the back. Let's use it for the back. So use big and medium circles for the main body. Now let's move on to the back. So in the back, we're going to do like small circles. Now let's start our shading. Try to not get the shading through the circle, okay? So just shade around the circle. Now if you can see, I'm doing a medium shade on top. Medium light shade. Now, do the strokes in a certain way. So when you're doing the strokes, do it when you're like drawing a line. Then let's do a light shade in the same type of strokes. Now, we'll do it a bit diagonal. Now let's get back to our same strokes. To shade the edges of the body, you can do it in a sleeping line ways. And now let's get back to our normal strokes. Now I'm doing a bit diagonal way for my strokes. Okay, now let's get to the lower part. So, same strokes. Now I'm doing it light. And also at the same time, I forgot to tell you this part. For the neck, erase a bit of its part, of the light shade part. Now, when you come to the corners, do a bit dark shade. Now we're done now we're doing a dark shade on our leg. Now we're done. Let's move on to the leg. Now we color it. Now we shade the back. Now I'm gonna do a dark shade on the edges of the body. Now I'm gonna do a bit medium, bit this light shading on the back. Now when we're done, let's draw our fur on it. And then now when you're done your full flower, that's it. Thanks for watching.